I'm not gonna waste your time. Here's 5 meals you can eat with rice and make in 20 minutes or less. And to make it even better, most of these dishes can be done in one pan if you don't include cooking rice. Before we get into the cooking, let's talk about our sponsor, which is me. I recently released my first digital cookbook, Flavor Boosters, which contains 13 flavor boosters you can keep in your kitchen to level up your cooking, and 2 recipes using each flavor booster. Using my professional cooking experience, I've created these recipes that can mostly be done in under an hour, but also teach you a thing or two about cooking. If you want to check it out, the link is below, and you can use code YouTube20 for 20% off. But even if you don't buy this book, I appreciate you just watching and supporting my content. All the recipes in this video will be linked in the description. Dish number 1, and one of my favorite Thai dishes, Pad Kra Pao. There's a period of time where I ate this dish every day of the week. It's extremely easy, inexpensive, and so damn tasty. Let's get into it. Start by prepping your ingredients. Pick Thai or holy basil leaves, finely grate garlic, chopped shallots, and Thai chilies. You can adjust the number of chilies depending on your spice tolerance. I usually use 2 to 3 per serving. Then make the sauce mixture by combining 1 teaspoon of sugar, 2 teaspoons of oyster sauce, 1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce, 1 tablespoon regular soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of fish sauce. In a wok or pan over medium-high heat, cook down the shallots, garlic, and chilies in a splash of oil for about 30 seconds. Then go in with your protein of choice. I'm using ground pork. Once the pork is cooked, incorporate your sauce mixture and taste for seasoning, then turn off the heat. Add the basil leaves and fold them in until just wilted. I always finish my Pad Kra Pao with a crispy fried egg. So good, and it only takes 10 minutes. This one's for my protein lovers out there. Clocking in at 66 grams of protein a serving, this classic Japanese dish can be done in under 10 minutes with just a bit of practice, giving you more time to focus on those gains. Let's make Oyakodon. Chicken and egg rice bowl. We'll start by deboning and cutting chicken thighs into 1-inch chunks. You can just buy skinless boneless chicken thighs to save time. Now, like Pad Kra Pao, the sauce does the heavy lifting in terms of flavor. Combine 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of mirin, 1 tablespoon of sake, and a half cup of dashi stock. I actually didn't have any dashi on hand, so I just used water and hondashi powder. Season with a teaspoon of sugar and we're ready to cook. In a non-stick pan over medium heat, add the chicken and sauce mixture. Bring it to a simmer and reduce the sauce while flipping the chicken until cooked. I also like to add some sliced onions at this stage for some extra aromatic sweetness, but it's optional. Once the chicken is fully cooked, reduce the heat to low, beat 3 eggs together, and drizzle it all over the chicken. Cover and let the eggs steam for a minute or 2 depending on how runny you like your eggs. Then just top it over a bowl of rice, optionally garnish with some scallions, and there's your protein fix. Eat this all the time. Now this next one might piss off a few of my Filipino friends, but I promise it's good. I fucking love adobo anything, but it usually takes a while to make. This cheat version combines some Chinese technique to make an absolute banger of a dish. Adobo chicken fried rice. The ingredients for this dish are nearly identical to classic chicken adobo. The only addition is that we'll be using baking soda to tenderize our meat, which will speed up the cooking process. Start by slicing your chicken into thin strips. I'm using chicken breast, but feel free to use dark meat. Place the sliced chicken in a bowl and add 1 tablespoon of Filipino soy sauce, a few cracks of black pepper, and half teaspoon of baking soda. This method is called velveting and is the reason behind why Chinese stir-fries have such tender, juicy meat. Without getting too scientific, the baking soda essentially reduces the amount the meat fibers contract when cooking, allowing it to remain tender and hold on to moisture. Set the velveted chicken aside while you prep the other ingredients. You can also prep the chicken in advance and leave it to marinate overnight. Make the sauce by combining 1 tablespoon of cane vinegar, 1 teaspoon of Filipino soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of palm sugar or brown sugar, and a few cracks of black pepper. Then take a few bay leaves and grind them into a powder and add it to the sauce mixture. Prep the aromatics by grating a few garlic cloves and julienning half an onion. Now the secret to a good fried rice at home is cooking everything in batches. You probably don't have a crazy wok burn at home, so this method ensures every ingredient gets a nice kiss of heat and cooks evenly. Start by cooking the velveted chicken, then set aside. Sweat down the onions, add garlic, and then the rice. Preferably you're using rice that has been chilled in the fridge overnight, which is drier and won't stick to your pan as easily. Once the rice is heated through, add back the chicken and go in with our sauce mixture. Then plate up and optionally garnish with some scallions. And that's adobo chicken fried rice. All the flavors of adobo in less than 30 minutes. This one's for my garlic lovers out there. Honey garlic chili chicken. I hope you don't try to kiss anybody after eating this. Use a little, use a lot. I used 8 cloves of garlic for 2 chicken thighs. Just grate them on a microplane like we've done in the previous recipes. For this dish, you'll want to use skin on chicken thighs. To get perfectly crispy chicken thighs every time, make sure your chicken thighs have been pat dry, then salt both sides immediately before cooking. In a pan over medium-low heat, add a splash of oil and place the chicken thighs skin side down. Place a weight on top and let the fat render out. Once golden and crispy, simply flip and cook it all the way through. Next, we'll make our honey garlic pan sauce. Deglaze the pan with 2 tablespoons of sake and follow up with the garlic. Then go in with 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of honey, and 1 teaspoon of sambal. Cook the sauce over low heat until thickened and syrupy. Then simply spoon it on over your crispy chicken thighs and there you go. Honey garlic chili chicken in about 10 minutes. Oh yeah. Who doesn't love steak? These Viet-Cajun steak bites aren't gonna help you shed any pounds, but if you're craving a quick meal that's gonna blow your taste buds away, this is it. Start by making the Viet-Cajun spice mix. Finally mince the white part of the lemongrass stalk and combine it with 2 teaspoons of paprika, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon each of garlic and onion powder, 2 teaspoons of salt, and a half teaspoon of black pepper. Then finish it off by finely cutting chives, the white part of a scallion, grating garlic, and chopping up our steak into 1-inch chunks. I'm using a cheap top blade roast. I'd also recommend chuck roast for this, or anything cheap and fatty. Coat the steak in the Viet-Cajun spice mix. In a heavy bottom pan over medium-high heat, sear off the steak until it reaches your desired doneness. I'm going for something between medium rare and medium. Then turn down the heat and add a tablespoon of butter, scallion whites, and grated garlic. Toss the steak in the butter, then add a splash of fish sauce for some extra umami. Turn off the heat and finish with chives. If you want to make this a more balanced meal, throw in some veggies. Here I had some chopped green bell peppers. Just throw it in the pan and let it cook in that residual beef fat and butter. Look at that. This might be the best out of the 5 dishes we made.